Check. Thank you for that, Pooja. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being here, and thank you, gentlemen, on the panel. We have a very interesting topic, a very buzzword topic, right? Like Pooja said, we're talking about AI-driven industrial renaissance. AI, especially in the media, we love the word. It's beautiful clickbait, okay? But today we're going to get to the actual roots of it, to the bare bones of it, and three stellar experts here all have important insights in AI. So we'll start off with Mr. Dhavse, sir. I'll start with you because you're coming from a policy perspective. And just initial thoughts, how are you seeing the impact of AI in manufacturing? Specifically with you, I want to talk to you about Maharashtra, because of course Maharashtra is a very important contributor to the economy of the country. The impact that you are seeing of AI, and I'm not just talking about today, tomorrow, a long-term vision. What are some views that the policies are looking at?
A very good evening to all of you. It's an absolute pleasure to be here with you and with Komal and sir with you. I think AI is very real. Yes, there is a lot of buzz around it. Absolutely, there is a lot of conversations around it. Sometimes it appears that it is hyped in many ways, but the fact of the matter is that it is bringing disruptive change. It is forcing policymakers across the board to really sit down and think of the impact that it is going to have on various sectors, including manufacturing. At Government of Maharashtra, we are fully equipped. We understand what it does to sectors, including manufacturing, and we have been at it from way back in 2018 when the Honorable Prime Minister inaugurated the first AI Center of Excellence in Mumbai University, which we spearheaded. So we have, as a state government, both the Honorable Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis and we as a group of people who work with him have been at it from day one. Secondly, I believe that this is not just Industry 4.0. I believe this is India 4.0. I believe that there is a huge momentum. There is a need for utilizing approved and effective technologies in manufacturing. I have looked at manufacturing plants, including the recently inaugurated state-of-the-art plant that Komal spearheads, Have More's plant in Pune. I had the good fortune of being at that plant and looked at the application of technology for efficiency and world-class products that are getting generated from that plant. So I continue to believe that this is a space that government will be watching very closely from a policy standpoint. And at every point, we will be analyzing how it impacts, what it impacts, and what we need to do as a government.
So, sir, would it be right to say somewhere that as we say that AI evolves, the government will also be adapting, evolving with that as it goes along? Because of the change that comes. I mean, AI 6 months ago is different from what AI today is.
No, it has to be. I mean, any new tech is always evolutionary in nature.
Yeah, exactly.
And as a human species, we have to adapt to the changing requirements.
Sure.
I believe that as a country, as a state, we will have our own principles and mechanisms to what we would like to adopt.
Got it.
In the sense that from a policy standpoint, we can't stop what companies will end up adopting and doing, because to each its own, they understand this better than us, what helps their manufacturing, what are the projects that they should take up. But from a policy standpoint, we will be slowly evaluating every trying to stay away from any interventions. We will allow the industry to prosper, and but we will watch this space very closely.
Fantastic. I'm sure that is like music to the ears of all the business persons that are here. Mr. Sridhar, I'll come to you. You actually have a great bank of experience in the supply chain space working with AI. But I'll be little tongue in cheek with you. After a Bisleri ki pani ki bottle to देश के कोने कोने में मिलती है. How is AI helping you beat that kind of supply chain?
I think, the largely AI, we adopt a lot of forecasting techniques, right? So while the businesses are growing to quench the customer needs, in line with that need, even the ability for the business to dynamically respond, how it can meet the demand and how can it serve the demand at a most optimal cost at a best quality. I think that
Right.
that endeavor is imperative for every business organization to thrive, and that is what creates the sustainable business value chain. So at Bisleri, we have actually used the machine learning algorithms, which is the base, the base of the AI, which works in integration with ML, which is a machine learning algorithms. What we have got is from a forecast-based planning to a demand sensing ability. That means we could sense the demand, where it is going to happen, in which part of the day and week, so that we could, input our supply chains.
Sorry, no, so I think the volume is a little low. If we could, from the console, just up the volume of Sir's mic. Sorry, Mr. Sridhar, please carry on. No, sir, you carry on. They'll increase the volume from the console.
AI will take over your job. You could have already
Sensed and analyzed.
You better be at it, guys.
Right, Mr. Sridhar, please
The
carry on.
machine learning algorithm improves the ability to sense the demand, instead of forecasting the demand, and can make the supply chain to enable to serve the demand. I think that is where the space where we could able to go to most of the places, and our segmented supply chain is around to optimize the overall inputs that we
Right.
take to do the business in terms of that. So that's how the sustainability piece will also comes along with, understanding the demand and placing the resources in the right time, so that the resources are optimized for the kind of outputs that we are generating, and thereby we offer the value addition to the consumers. So in our space of supply chain, we use these techniques to, one, to predict demand, second, to, place our supply networks accordingly so that the resource optimization happens, and thirdly, in terms of, driving the sustainability, how do we create the value chain optimization instead of looking at any particular segment. We look at the holistic, right from upstream to the network to the downstream of the network. How do we optimize the value across the supply chain? I think AI driven demand replenishment model works brilliantly for the system, and it also now it's a omni-channel network. We cannot create a network to serve a particular channel. So we need to create a channel which can respond to the omni-channel demand. So that's how this AI and the planning networks will become better to design the overall supply chain.
Fantastic. Okay, that's a very important and a real life case for that. So thank you for that. Mr. Anand, Mr. Dhavse was speaking about your the plant, the new state of the art plant. So two questions. One is, how are you using AI innovation in the F&B space, and especially in this plant? How is it maybe different from your other plants? And more importantly, is AI making the ice cream taste better?
Thank you. Thank you for that. Good evening, and before I begin, I'd like to genuinely thank the Maharashtra government for facilitating a conducive environment for us to set up the factory. And I don't know how many of you picked up what Kaustubh just said a few minutes ago, that they've not only helped us set up the factory, they just let us loose and, do your stuff, whatever you want to do, and we're there to help you. So thank you, Kaustubh, and thanks. I really want to thank the Maharashtra government on behalf of Lotte Korea. So thank you. Yes, now coming to the factory and the plant that Kaustubh and the Honorable Chief Minister inaugurated on the 6th of February, it is one of the state-of-the-art ice cream factories we have. Now, in terms of AI, this is our first factory. I think we have one factory in Korea, in Seoul, just one more which is automated, but this one is automated a little more. Now, how are we using AI in this factory? I think what's important is, first let me clarify, using AI sounds very simple, but it is not, because, what we've learned and I've learned is human beings have a very high tolerance level. So if I'm a human being and I'm supposed to pick up a particular bottle or a ice cream and put it in a box, I use my brain and I can adjust. AI has to be configured to the right, smallest of millimeters for the robotic arm to pick and drop. So we've been at it since, I think, December. We still training it's work in progress. The robots are still learning through the AI on the specifications of each pack, each size. And the interesting thing we've also learned is that when we buy packaging material, while the supplier tries to be consistent, not always will the laminate roll or box be identical. And AI does make mistakes there. So there is a huge learning curve in the Talegaon factory right now where AI is learning and human beings are also there learning on how do you teach the robots. So both are working together. But what actually AI has done, is, let me give you an example of the candy line. We make ice cream candies as one of the SKUs. So in the factory that we have in Ahmedabad and the one in Faridabad, hypothetically, we can make about 9 to 10,000 candies an hour. The factory in MIDC Talegaon is configured to deliver 20,000 candies per hour. While the production speed is high, a human being labor cannot pack at that speed, and that becomes a bottleneck. So the robots have been installed, and we've got many robots in each line, to do the speed, to ensure that there is no clogging in the production line. So that's the journey we have so far in Maharashtra on AI. And, in future, I think Korea is very clear. This is the factory where we will continue to invest more and more in technology. We've started with the robots on 3 lines, and we will continue to invest in build technology in this factory.
Fantastic. That is quite insightful and a very important lesson for everyone here to take back. Mr. Dhavse, I'll come back to you. So, Mr. Anand started by saying, he's thankful to the government. Of course, I'm sure there are many companies that are. I want to talk to you about one particular company that must be really thankful to the government, which is Tesla. But I want to play devil's advocate with you. Tesla, pioneer driverless cars. Are we going to see driverless cars on the chaotic cities of Mumbai? I'll specifically talk about today. Are we going to be seeing that soon? And the ever constant battle which says that AI equals to less jobs. What is your take on that from a policy perspective?
Okay, so both are very important questions, and they are politically sensitive. First question, I think what is important, and we continue to believe this, is that from automation to becoming automated to become autonomous is a journey that a society, a country has to take. And I think India needs to define its own parameters for that. We need to keep pace with the world. There is no doubt in my mind about it. There are certain efficiencies we need to be brought in, like what Mr. Anand was mentioning, that there are certain things are necessary and those necessary things need to be incorporated in order to compete with other economies, other countries, and become a large global competitive manufacturing base. But having said that, autonomous cars are still at a distant. Reason being, we have about, I think nationally we should be having about 80 lakh drivers. So when government makes policy decision of that nature, it has to take into consideration several facets of impact that it creates. How do we upskill a certain section of a monotonous job ecosystem and bring them to the next level while we allow that monotony to be taken over by AI-driven processes is a reality at a policy level which we have to face. We cannot hide behind, the garb of anything to say that we will not and we cannot and not necessary and all that. But for once, I want to thank the chaotism that happens on our roads, which is going to take a long time for, an AI model to really be on its own. Sometimes certain things were designed for us to delay adoption. And I think we will look at it at every step of the time. But Tesla's arrival is important for the country. It is, it's remarkable. It's not a car. It's data. It's the intelligence that it brings. And I had the opportunity to be with the Chief Minister when we inaugurated. We have been working with them for some time now. And my sense is that they are welcome in this country. And obviously, we will facilitate as much as we can. I just want to leave this thought with all of you. You are CEOs, CXOs, you are policymakers. That government will be a constant enabler in this. We are not close to any idea. We may have our views. We may take certain positions in certain areas, taking into consideration the larger goal that the economy needs to address. And sometimes those decisions may not be conducive to a certain sector. But with Mr. Fadnavis at the helm, I can tell you one thing, that it will be conducive for Maharashtra. It will be in the right direction. And we are, like he cited the example of autonomous cars, we are going to face this challenge constantly with 100% robotic factories, with maybe 5 people employed, which had the potential to employ maybe 500 people. So these are challenges that policymakers are going to be confronted with, and we need to realize, and we need to act, and we need to upskill, and we need to change the way we approach this problem statement rather than thinking about, and I don't personally think that incrementally or proportionally it is going to be leading to loss of jobs, because we are moving from 500 and today Morgan Stanley has released its report lauding the government of Maharashtra for its $536 billion economy, making it the 28th largest economy in the world, subnational entity, and have predicted that we will reach by 29, we should reach $1 trillion. So as we move in that direction, as Maharashtra moves, as India moves, we are going to require people to be economically much more productive.
Right.
So I think we will move in that direction and it will be beneficial to all.
Fantastic. We don't have much time left, unfortunately. This has been a long conversation that I would have loved to have. But Mr. Sridhar and Mr. Anand, same question to you, and Mr. Sridhar first and then Mr. Anand. Just from your experience using AI, using innovation, let me broaden the topic, innovation. What would be your advice to a small player, a SME, a MSME in your specific sector, that you would advise from maybe like a large brother looking down on the small brother, small sister, and kind of guiding them on AI and innovation? Or, I mean, whichever one wants to go first.
Okay, so, look, AI is, if you look at AI and visualize a pyramid, and top of the pyramid is strategy, which is, the CEOs or the board does, and then bottom of the pyramid is, let's say, workflows and processes. Most of the work that is happening, the example I gave you, the machine picking and packing is workflow. And I think AI, and I can tell you with my experience that I monitor costs like a hawk. I keep comparing the cost of my production in Ahmedabad, Faridabad and Talegaon. I keep track on the headcount. We've not reduced the headcount on those lines. Like I said, it's about speed. It's not about, as of now, we are not looking at cutting down our total workforce in Talegaon. It's about how do I double my production and get my product out to the market fast. And the interesting thing is India is a growing economy, and the business that I'm in, ice creams, it's got a lot of demand pull. I know that none of the competitors, whether it's, the large Indian company, which I don't want to name, whether it's a multinational company, we typically fall short of supply. And therefore, what is important is for me to get the product out. And I think in the process, what we are also trying to do is upskill our workforce. When my workforce is engaging, interacting and learning on how do you operate robots, these are people who never operated robots. It's upskilling. And this learning is something we are clear in our mind that ultimately it's these people, you need somebody to manage the robot as well. It's these guys who'll do it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yes, Sridhar, your last thoughts.
One additional advantage with AI coming in is it's a predictive maintenance in terms of troubleshooting, because the machines are learned and the machine learning and algorithms will always propel up to self-correct those machines. In that way, it is going to be, adding productivity to the scene in the bottom. So while to judge the kind of troubleshooting initiated by the AI algorithm is right or not, again, there needs a person, because AI is an iterative process. Before it comes to a standardization, it needs a kind of governance, like you were pointing it out, right? In terms of iterative process and till it reaches to a certain level of accuracy and, in terms of standardization. So I think there needs a person to govern and the upskilled person will help to grow the business. So even for any level, it adds to the productivity and it adds to the sustainability. Undoubtedly, it is one solution where everyone needs to adopt for quenching the vision of this country to become the most powerful economy to, have in the world right now.
Superb. Well, thank you so much for that, Mr. Dhavse. Thank you, Mr. Sridhar. Thank you, Mr. Anand, for that. Ladies and gentlemen, one last thought. Definitely AI impacting productivity, efficiency. So it's definitely going to be an exciting future, and I'm sure all of you here are taking back some important points. One last thought. Well, my research today was not done using ChatGPT. Maybe I will check on how AI improves my efficiency the next time. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for our panelists. Thank you so much. Thank you. Back to you, Pooja.
Thank you, Mr. Anand, Mr. Sridhar, Mr. Kaustubh, and Sumit, of course. Let's have a quick photo op, gentlemen, to capture the moment. And if I could please also invite Pooja Sethi to take the stage to felicitate each of our panelists, please.